Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Habade and today's video is going to be on a healthy, tasty and colorful dosa. This dosa is a similar version of masala dosa which comprises of a chutney, healthy and nutrient-packed raw veggies and processed cheese as a garnish. This recipe makes around 8 dosas. For the chutney, we require handful of coriander leaves, handful of mint leaves, half a lemon and 2 less spiced chilies. In a mixer, I have added 2 chilies, handful of mint leaves and some coriander leaves. These leaves provide a good body to the chutney. These leaves are thoroughly washed in water to remove the mud from them. To give a tangy flavor to the chutney, I have squeezed half a lemon. I have also seasoned the chutney with some salt and sugar. Sugar balances the chutney as it contains some spicy and tangy flavor. To blend the chutney properly, I have added some water. Now that the chutney is ready, and as you can see, it has retained a good green color, it adds a good taste to the dosa and also gives an appealing look to the dosa. It is the most basic chutney which aids digestion and enhances the taste, aroma, and nutrition of any dish. Well, this is a homemade fermented dosa batter which is made with rice rava, also called as semolina, and split dehusked black gram which is also called as urad dal. Now that the dosa batter is fermented overnight, my mother whisks the batter and take it in a bowl. She then adds salt as it enhances the taste of the batter and it also slows down the fermentation process. Now, to make a good dosa batter, my mother adds water to gain a pancake like consistency. It's neither too thick nor too thin. The ingredients required for the filling are finely grated raw beetroot, finely grated raw carrot, some finely grated raw cabbage, thinly sliced capsicum, and 2 boiled and mashed potato, which is then seasoned with salt, chili powder, turmeric, and some cumin powder, which is also called as jeera powder. We also require some melted butter, chaat masala, and processed cheese to enhance the taste of the dosa. Now, to assemble the dosa, turn on the flame and make sure that the tawa is hot. Once the tawa or the pan is hot, grease some oil in order to avoid sticking of the batter. Lay the dosa batter on the pan and drizzle some melted butter and flatten the dosa with a thin spatula in order to achieve a crispy dosa. Make sure while doing this, the flame is on medium high. Generously spread the coriander and mint chutney all over the dosa. Now, onto the chutney, add the mashed potato mixture and spread it all over the dosa. You can either drag the potato mixture in different directions or just pat down the mixture to flatten it out. After that, add some grated cabbage, some grated carrots, some finely grated beetroot, and thinly sliced capsicum. Also, sprinkle some chaat masala for extra flavor and also drizzle the melted butter to bind everything properly. And with the help of a spatula, firmly press the vegetables so that it flattens out properly. Garnish the dosa with some grated cheese. By the time this process gets done, the dosa almost gets cooked. Now that the cheese is melted, slowly scrape the dosa from all the sides of the pan and roll it in a desired way. Well, the dosa is ready to be served and devoured. This recipe was derived by my mother, Bindu Auntie, Maya Kaku, and Jaya Kaku during a Haldi Kumkum occasion. I love this dish and have been eating it since childhood. I hope you enjoy watching this video. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Harbade and today's video is going to be on 3 different types of penne pastas. Let's start with the basic white sauce, and for that we require 15 grams of flour, 30 grams of butter and half a liter milk. In a deegchi, I have added the half liter milk and simultaneously I have kept a small kadhai to make the sauce. The range on which the black kadhai is kept is the smallest amongst the 4. So the time required to make the roux is almost equivalent to the time taken for the milk to come to a boil. Once the kadhai is heated, I add 30 grams of butter to it. Once the butter is properly melted, I add 15 grams of flour to it and whisk it till no lumps are formed. Since the ratio of butter is more, the formation of lumps is almost negligible. Keep cooking the roux till a blonde color is achieved and the roux has obtained a nutty flavor. Normally, the standard ratio of roux, that is flour to butter, is supposed to be 1:1 and the sauce obtained by it is really thick. So the ratio of flour to butter that I have considered is 1:2, that is 1 part of flour and 2 parts of butter, in order for the sauce to obtain a dosa batter like consistency. Once the roux has attained a blonde color and the milk has come to a boil, I then add the milk to the roux and keep mixing slowly till all the lumps have dissolved. Once everything is properly mixed, keep cooking the sauce on a slow flame for at least 10 minutes or until it gets a little thick. Now, in order to check if the sauce is thick enough, just dip the spoon in the sauce, and if it gets a thick coat of the sauce, then the sauce is ready. Strain the sauce using a fine mesh and strain it while it's still hot. Also, please note that the sauce tends to thicken once it starts cooling. You can also cover the strained sauce with a cling film directly touching the top surface of the sauce in order to avoid the formation of skin. But as I'm directly making the dish, I did not do that. To cook the pasta, in a vessel I have added a saucepan full of water. And to the water, I have added 2 teaspoons of salt. Make sure that the salt bath is like a sea water. It needs to be salty. The pasta won't absorb excess salt, but it requires enough salt to flavor itself. Do not add oil to the water as it is a complete waste of resource. Once the water comes to a boil, I then add 200 grams of penne and cook it exactly for 8 minutes. This 8 minutes cooks the pasta al dente, which means to the tooth. Always add pasta only after the water has come to a boil. If added earlier, it ruins the texture of the pasta. Keep mixing the pasta at regular intervals in order to avoid sticking of the pasta to the bottom of the vessel. After 8 minutes, turn off the flame and remove the pasta immediately. Do not wash the pasta under running water, as I do not want to stop the cooking process of the pasta. As this video is meant for Indian palate, let it cook for another 2-3 minutes on its own heat. Do not throw away the water as well. Keep the water aside. I then drizzle some olive oil to the cooked pasta to avoid sticking of the penne to each other. The ingredients that I'm using for making the pasta dishes are very simple and are easily found in our kitchen. I have made sure that the ingredients that I used for making these 3 dishes are same, that is olive oil, chopped garlic, chopped onion and a few green capsicum. The rest may vary depending on the flavors of the sauce. Let's start with our first dish, which is penne in saffron sauce. Well, on medium flame, on one range I have kept the reserved pasta water and in another range I have kept a non-stick pan. For the saffron sauce, I have taken few strands of saffron, which is also called as kesar, and added roughly around 2 tablespoons of the hot pasta water and covered it with a plate so that the heat brings out the color and flavor from saffron. Meanwhile, on a medium flame, I have added roughly about 1 tablespoon of olive oil to the non-stick pan. Once the oil gets heated, I add 1 teaspoon of chopped garlic and 1 tablespoon of chopped onion and cook it till it becomes translucent. Once the onions are translucent, I add the big cubes of green capsicum and saute it. Do not cook the capsicum, let it have a crunchy texture. To this, I add 2 ladles of white sauce. Now you know why I have kept the consistency of the sauce like a dosa batter. Once the sauce is heated, I season it with little salt. Please note that the saffron water already has salt, so use very little salt. Add the saffron infused water to the white sauce and mix everything properly. Add the pasta water to adjust the consistency of the sauce. To the sauce, I add 1 diced Amul processed cheese. Since the sauce is hot, the cheese melts beautifully. Now I add the cooked pasta. As the pasta is already cooked, I just need to heat it. As the cheese starts melting, it absorbs the moisture content from the sauce. Thus, I add more water to maintain the consistency of the sauce. Mix everything properly. The pasta is ready to be served. This pasta has a yellow tinge and a mild flavor from the saffron. This is one of my favorite pasta. Coming on to our second dish, which is penne in lemon sauce. On a medium flame, in a non-stick pan, I have added a tablespoon of olive oil. Once the oil gets heated, I then add the chopped onion and chopped garlic. I saute them till they become translucent. Once the onion and the garlic gets cooked, I add the green capsicum and lightly saute them. I again add 2 ladles of white sauce and mix everything properly. Add very little salt as the pasta water and the cheese has adequate seasoning of salt. Lemon sauce is basically an Alfredo sauce which then gets flavored with some fresh lemon juice. To the white sauce, I add penne and a diced cheese cube and combine everything properly by adjusting the texture of the sauce by adding sufficient pasta water. Once everything is properly mixed, I turn off the flame and add fresh cream in order to avoid splitting of the cream. I mix the cream properly in the sauce and then I turn on the flame. You can also add cream in the saffron sauce. Fresh cream is completely optional. It just improves the texture of the pasta. Once the pasta is ready, turn off the flame and squeeze half a lemon and mix immediately. Even though lemon is acidic in nature, as the roux contains flour, it prevents the sauce from splitting. Penne and lemon sauce is ready to be served. Also, you can see that the sauce did not split and has a smooth finish. Now, coming on to our third dish, which is penne aglio olio, which means oil and garlic. For this dish, we might not require the pasta water, but I have still kept it. This time, in a non-stick pan, I have added 2 tablespoons of olive oil and sauteed 1 tablespoon each of chopped onion and garlic. As this dish requires more quantity of olive oil and garlic, I have also added the green capsicum. Cook this dish on a high flame. Add the chili flakes and mix everything properly. Add the cooked penne and toss everything properly. I have also added some sliced black olives for some flavor. Once everything is tossed, I finish the pasta with some olive oil. I then season it with salt and a few holy tulsi leaves instead of basil leaves. These pasta recipes are not authentic but are altered to the Indian palate and also according to the ingredients that are available on a local level. Alio olio is ready to be served. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do subscribe to my channel and like and share this video. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Habde and today's video is going to be on a normal Sunday meal. The ingredients required for the marination of chicken are thick curd. The curd or the yogurt used is store-bought as it contains less amount of water content. I have added salt, some red chili powder. The red chili powder used is homemade, so it doesn't have a red color as some cloves are also used into it, thus it has a orangish color. Then I have added some turmeric, half a lemon as the citrus makes the meat tender and juicier, and some vegetable oil. This is how the marination should look. It has a light orangish color and doesn't have any water content. The chicken weighs approximately around 1.3 kilos. After deskinning it and cutting it into desired portions, I marinate it and refrigerate it for an hour. Now, as the chicken rests in the fridge, I make some simple Maharashtrian chicken masala. The masala is very simple and creates a body for the curry. The ingredients required for the masala are onions, flesh of coconut, fresh ginger, and cloves of garlic. The ratio of onion to the coconut is 2:1. We also require coriander or cilantro for garnish and one chopped onion for the curry. In the handi, I make chicken curry and in the kadhai, I make the masala. Well, in both the utensils, I add some oil and allow it to heat. These things are done simultaneously is because the time required to make the masala is equivalent to the time required for the aromats and the onions for the chicken curry to cook on a slow flame. Cooking the onions on a slow flame brings out a caramel taste which enhances the taste of the curry. As the oil is heated in the handi, I add some bay leaves, 4 cloves, and 4 black peppercorns, whereas in the kadhai I add the sliced onions. And when the spices start to pop, I add chopped onions to the handi. As the sliced onion gets caramelized, transfer it to a mixer jar. To the kadhai, add the ginger and garlic and cook it properly on a low flame. Add salt to the onions as it accelerates the caramelization process. Give it a good mix. Add little oil to the ginger and garlic so it doesn't stick to the kadhai and cooks properly. Transfer the ginger and garlic to the mixer jar. Add coconut to the kadhai and cook it properly. To the handi, add 1 tablespoon of kara tikhat, which is a Maharashtrian masala, half a tablespoon of chili powder, and 1/4 tablespoon of turmeric powder. Mix everything properly and cook the spices till it releases its oil. Once the coconut is toasted, transfer it to the mixer jar and blend the mixture by adding sufficient water. Make a good fine paste. Add the marinated chicken to the handi. Mix the chicken thoroughly and cook the chicken on high flame for a good 5 minutes. Also in a vessel, I took some water and kept it for boiling. To the chicken, Add 5 tablespoons of the onion, ginger, garlic and coconut masala and reserve the rest. Mix thoroughly everything on a high flame for a good 10 minutes. Keep mixing till the chicken coats the masalas properly. To the chicken, add the boiling water. Boiling water maintains the cooking process of the chicken, whereas the normal water depletes the cooking process of the chicken. I transfer the chicken on the other range on a slow flame and cover it with the lid. Now, coming to the methi or the fenugreek soup, I take a pressure cooker and fill it with a saucepan full of water. To the water, I add thoroughly washed fenugreek stems. I am making this soup because last night we had methi for dinner and had the stems reserved for the soup, as we always have a habit of drinking soup in our everyday meal, either in a thick form or in a thin form, depending on the dishes that we shall have along with the soup. You can also call this soup as a flavored stock, as it is flavored with chili, radish, carrots and salt. This soup acts as a palate cleanser and can be drank half an hour before the meal, as it fills the stomach and suffices hunger for at least half an hour. Again, a saucepan full of water is added. I close the lid of the pressure cooker and allow it to cook. Now, on to the jeera rice, which is also called as cumin rice. In a kadhai, I take clarified butter, which is also called as ghee. I add a couple of cloves and black peppercorns and a teaspoon of jeera seeds. And then I turn on the flame on low, else there are chances of jeera seeds to burn. Then I take a cup of rice and wash it thoroughly with water. And I keep sauteing the cumin in order to avoid burning them. Well, to the cumin seeds, add the washed rice and mix it properly. Now, to the rice, add twice the quantity of water. The water used is at room temperature. Generously add some roughly chopped coriander and season it with salt. Now, cover it with a lid and cook the cumin rice on a low temperature for a minimum of 20 minutes. Again, exactly half an hour later, coming back to the chicken curry, as you can see, the consistency of the curry is very thin. To that, I add the remaining masala to the chicken in order to get a good body to the curry and give it a good mix. and I re-season the chicken curry with a tablespoon of garam masala. After adding the garam masala, I add a teaspoon of Kashmiri lal chili powder to obtain a good color to the curry, some red chili powder, some kara tikhat and a dash of turmeric, and mix it thoroughly. This time I am adjusting the flavors for the final time. Cover the handi with the lid and again cook the chicken for half an hour on a slow flame. Well, after 20 minutes, the jeera rice smells divine. After the pressure cooker cools down, I take the lid off and using a strainer, I strain the water from the pressure cooker and keep aside the carrots and radishes and cut them thinly. I discard the stems as the flavor of the stems get transferred in the water. Now, to the soup, I add the carrots and the radishes and season it with salt and crushed black pepper. I give it a good stir and allow it to boil in order to get a spicy taste from the crushed peppercorns. Once the soup comes to a boil, I turn off the gas and squeeze half a lemon for a tangy taste. If the lemon is added while the gas is on, it gives a bitter taste to the soup. Now that the soup is ready, I keep it aside. After an hour, I turn off the gas and garnish the curry with loads of roughly chopped coriander. As you can see, the curry has obtained a good texture and also a good color. Now, heading to the rice bhakri, my mom adds 1 and 3/4 cups of water to the saucepan and wait for the water to boil. Bhakri is a staple food of Maharashtra and a great source of carbs and also a form of Indian bread. After the water comes to a boil, she adds 2 cups of rice flour and just lightly mixes it so that the flour absorbs all the water. This technique makes the bhakri super soft. This technique is also called as ukad. She then transfers the mixture onto a plate. Well, she scrapes every bit of it, Indian moms, and then waits for the mixture to cool down a little till it becomes convenient for her to make a dough with her hand. Once the mixture cools down a little, with some water, she starts kneading the mixture till a dough is formed. There is no such proportion for the water that is required for the kneading. It depends on the quality of the rice flour. Well, as you can see, a dough is getting formed. Well, this dough is not seasoned with salt as it is not that necessary, as the bhakri is not eaten as it is. You always dunk the bhakri in the chicken curry, which is already so flavorful. Once the dough is formed, my mom divides the dough in required sizes. This recipe usually makes around 6 to 7 bhakris. It actually depends on the size of the dough taken by the person to make the bhakri. It can also make 8 to 10 bhakris. Take the flat, thick, dish-shaped dough and roll it using a rolling pin on a chakla or a pole part or your kitchen platform. apply generous amount of rice flour so that the dough doesn't stick to the surface. While my mother is doing that, she also turns the flame on high and places the griddle. Once the bhakri is rolled out, she firmly places it on a griddle and generously applies water on top surface of the bhakri in order to avoid drying of the bhakri. While the first bhakri is getting half cooked, she makes another bhakri. Well, using a spatula, she flips the bhakri. Once the bhakri is flipped, she cooks the flip side completely or until you see the brown spots on the bhakri. Once the spots appear, she again flips the bhakri and cooks it on a direct flame. She keeps moving it on a flame so that it gets cooked evenly from all sides. And as the bhakri puffs, it's ready to be served. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do share some love. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili and today's video is going to be on piri piri corn sandwich with basil and mint chutney. The main ingredients required for the chutney are 4 green chilies which are spicy in nature, handful of basil leaves, half a lemon and handful of mint leaves. The basil leaves used are of Indian origin. You can always replace the basil with coriander or cilantro. Make sure to wash the ingredients with water and keep little water intact on those leaves. Well, in a mixer jar, I place handful of washed mint leaves, handful of washed basil leaves, 4 chilies and juice of half a lemon. And for seasoning, I add salt and sugar in order to get a balanced taste to the chutney. As you can see, there is enough water on those leaves. So while blending the ingredients, I do not add water. Well, to be very frank, this chutney is going to be really spicy. Now that the chutney is blended, it should have a stable texture. It shouldn't be too thick or too watery. Well, I haven't added any water to the mixture, but if you require water, please do add. Now that the chutney is ready, the ingredients required for the base of the sandwich are half yellow and red capsicum, half an onion, and boiled sweet corn, which has been kept in the fridge overnight to remove excess water. Well, in a mixing bowl, I added the boiled sweet corn, then I added the chopped onion. After that, I added the yellow bell pepper and chopped red bell pepper. For the seasoning of the corn mixture, I have used veg mayonnaise, piri piri seasoning, and 2 Amul processed cheese cube. This sandwich does not require any additional seasoning as piri piri has a pack full of varied spices. Even salt is not required. To the corn mixture, I add half a teaspoon of piri piri seasoning and 2 tablespoons of veg mayonnaise. Well, the veg mayo was on the verge of getting over, so I was struggling to get a spoonful of it. After I've added the veg mayo, I grated 2 processed cheese cubes. Well, I haven't mentioned it earlier, but this recipe makes around 8 sandwiches. Well, this is how the corn mixture looks like. Let me tell you one thing, if you do not drain the water from the corns, the mixture will become loose. It won't hold the texture and thus the sandwich will become soggy. This is how I assemble the sandwiches. The bread used is of Whips Company and the butter used is Amul. I lay the breads down and apply butter and spread chutney to all the slices and then I put 2 spoonfuls of the corn mixture and sandwich it between another slice of bread. As you can see, the corn mixture and the chutney perfectly makes 8 sandwiches. Now that the sandwiches are ready, let's toast them. This is a typical sandwich toaster that almost every Indian household has. Just in case if you do not have this toaster, you can always toast the sandwiches on a pan with some butter. Just make sure to keep pressing the sandwiches so that the mixture does not come out and the cheese melts beautifully. Just make sure that the sandwiches are toasted until golden brown. I have kept the flame on medium high. Well, while filming the video, I have almost burned 2 sandwiches. I hope that you have enjoyed watching this video. Please share some love. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Habde and today's video is going to be on 2 dishes of chicken keema. One being the chicken keema paratha and the other being the chicken keema kofta recipe. The marination for the minced chicken is same for both the recipes. I have used simple ingredients and less masala. I had 200 grams of minced chicken, hence I decided to make 2 recipes of lesser quantities. Also, the method that I have used is very simple and each recipe takes around 20 minutes of prep and cooking time. Well, in a mixer jar, I have placed few cloves of garlic, half an inch of ginger, one less spiced green chili, some fresh coriander as it provides a good body and taste to the marination, and a chopped onion. And to season the marination, we require 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, also called as jeera, half a teaspoon of Kashmiri lal red chili powder, half a teaspoon of spicy red chili powder, a dash of turmeric powder, and half a teaspoon of coriander powder. These are all the basic spices that go in any cooking. There are no extra spices added for the marination purpose. Kindly note that I haven't added salt as I don't want the onions to leave its water. I have also squeezed half a lemon for a balanced taste. Now that the marination is ready, it's okay if the marination has a rough and a thick texture and is not of a fine paste. Also, I have marinated the minced chicken and kept it aside for a few minutes. This method will help the chicken obtain a taste from the marination. Now, for the chicken kofta recipe, I am making around 8 koftas. I am just pressing the minced chicken against the palm of my hand to form a round shaped ball. I haven't used oil or water for this process. Well, each chicken kofta would roughly weigh around 20 grams. Once the koftas are formed, I rest it in the fridge for a minimum of 30 minutes and the remaining mixture is kept aside for the stuffed paratha. For the gravy of the kofta, in a mixer jar, I have taken 1 small cinnamon. Please note, instead of 4, use 2 cloves and 2 black peppercorns because at the end, my gravy turned out to be a little spicy. I have also used 1 cardamom and a bay leaf, and to give a good body to the gravy, I have used a small onion, half a tomato with seeds, and a spoonful of plain yogurt. This is how the onion tomato masala looks like. I haven't strained the mixture, I have thoroughly blended it. Well, to make the chicken kofta curry, I have taken a small kadhai as the recipe counts only for 8 koftas. Well, in a kadhai, on a slow flame, I have heated some oil and added the cumin seeds and allowed it to cook and pop. I have added the onion tomato masala, and to this masala, I have again seasoned it with basic spices, that is the Kashmiri lal red chili powder, some spicy red chili powder, a dash of turmeric powder, and some coriander powder. I give it a good mix. As you can see, the gravy has obtained a beautiful color. To thin out the gravy, I have added water to the bowl in which I had kept the masala. Season the gravy with some salt and place the koftas firmly in the gravy. Cover the kadhai with the lid and allow it to cook on a slow flame for 20 minutes. Now that the kofta curry is ready, I garnish it with some roughly cut coriander. I have cooked this curry on the slowest range of my cooking range. Also, the koftas are entirely cooked and have also maintained its shape firmly. For the paratha stuffing, in a kadhai, I have heated some oil and placed the marinated chicken and sauteed it till it's cooked. I have only added salt to the minced chicken as salt was the only ingredient that I didn't add while marinating. The chicken keema took around 15 minutes to cook completely. Once the chicken is cooked, I transfer it to a bowl and allow it to cool down completely. Else, if the mixture is hot, you won't be able to roll out the paratha. For the paratha dough, in a plate, my mum has taken a cup of whole wheat flour and added 2 spoonfuls of plain yogurt. She has also seasoned the flour with some salt. Now, knead the dough by adding water little by little until a firm dough is obtained. Also add little oil as the dough requires fat to form a firm and a soft dough. Now, using a rolling pin, she rolls out a portion of the dough and stuffs it with the cool minced chicken mixture. She then seals the dough properly in order to avoid spilling of the stuff. She then flattens the dough and by dusting some flour on the surface, she then rolls out the paratha. Roll the paratha from one side only. Do not turn the paratha as it is delicate and it tends to tear. As you can see, from one side it is plain, whereas on the other side it has stone on some places, which is completely fine. Also make sure that the paratha is rolled out a little thick. Place the paratha on a heated tawa and apply some butter and drizzle some oil. Just make sure that the stuffing is cooked, so we just need to cook the dough properly. In order to achieve that, kindly keep the flame on a medium high. Make sure the paratha is cooked from both the sides. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. It's a simple recipe. Do try and give your feedback. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Habde and today's video is going to be on my version of Dalgona coffee. This coffee has created quite a stir on social media. Though this is how I drank my coffee in my childhood, I still decided to make this hot version of coffee instead of cold in order to keep ourselves warm and safe from this pandemic situation. I haven't followed the authentic recipe for the coffee. Instead, I have used a recipe that I thought is feasible for 1 cup of coffee. Well, why waste resources, you know? Also, I have seen people use electric beater, and as I don't have one at the moment, I decided to use a small whisk. Initially, I thought that this would take ages to form, but I was surprised to see that this method took less than a minute to form a stiff peak. This is the same method that is used to whisk a cooked dal. I also did the inverted coffee test in order to see if the mixture moves or falls, but it was stiff and thick enough to hold onto the cup. Well, for assembling the coffee, I poured some hot milk and scraped the fluffed batter from the previous cup and placed it gently on the milk. Okay, not that gently because it was quite thick, and I also dusted some drinking chocolate powder. I hope you liked my version of Dalgona coffee, and thank you for watching this video. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Well, as you know, it's chai time. Well, this recipe makes 2 cups of chai and has a balanced 1:1 ratio of milk and water. The milk used is a full fat milk and the tea powder used is of Girnar company. Well, this chai being flavored with long and elaichi, I have used 2 cloves and 1 cardamom. I always start with the flame off. In a saucepan, I add a cup of water, a cup of milk, 3 teaspoons of sugar. Well, you can always adjust the quantity of sugar according to your liking, but 3 teaspoons of sugar do the perfect justice to the chai. Well, using a tongue, I crush the clove and cardamom till it releases its oil. After that, I turn on the flame and allow the water and milk mixture to boil. The secret to this chai is to allow it to boil properly so that all the flavors of the clove and cardamom sink in the milk and water mixture. After I have added the sugar, I allow it to boil thrice. Though this recipe makes 2 cups of chai, but there are times when you prefer to make a single cup of chai. So for that, I always prefer to take half cup of milk and half cup of water proportion. And to that, I add 1 clove and 1 elaichi. And I allow it to boil just twice. Else the water evaporates and you just get half cup of chai instead of a full cup of chai. After the third boil, I add the tea powder and again allow it to boil thrice or until you get a desired color. By this time, the kitchen gets filled with the aroma of spices. Well, you know it's a perfect chai when you hear this. Thank you for watching my video. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Habde and today's video is going to be on how to make paneer, also called as cottage cheese. Paneer is basically a fresh, non-melting soft cheese which is acquired by curdling milk by an acidic component which could either be lemon, vinegar, citric acid or yogurt. The ratio of vinegar to water is 1:2, that is 1 part of vinegar and 2 parts of water. Same goes for the lemon juice. Depending on the brand of the synthetic white vinegar, the proportion may vary, but the quantity of water is always double the acidic component, that is vinegar. In a bowl, I have diluted the mixture by adding 4 tablespoons of water to 2 tablespoons of synthetic white vinegar. On a slow flame, bring 1 liter milk to a boil. The milk used is full fat milk. Do not stir the milk and keep a close watch. Well, it takes around 15 to 20 minutes to come to a full boil. Once the milk comes to a boil, turn off the flame and keep stirring the milk to let out the excess heat. Let the milk settle for 2 to 3 minutes. After a couple of minutes, add the water and vinegar mixture in small parts and keep stirring the milk. In less than a minute, the whey and the curd separates. Now, drain the curd in a cheesecloth. The whey or the protein-rich water can be used in a lot of preparations, be it in a curry or while making the dough. But sometimes we use this water to water our plants. It keeps the plants healthy. Now, immediately transfer the curd in ice-cold water and wash it thoroughly. This ensures a smooth texture and appearance. It also stops the further cooking process of the curd and prevents it from becoming rubbery. Squeeze out the excess water from the paneer. In order to achieve a firmer texture, roll the paneer in the cloth and place a heavy object on top of it. I have used a mortar as it weighs around 7 to 8 kgs, which further helps in removing excess water and provides a firmer texture to the paneer. Keep this aside for exactly 1 hour. After an hour, you can notice that the paneer has acquired a firm texture and doesn't contain any moisture. And the marks that you see on the paneer is basically from the strainer. On weighing the paneer, it can be stated that from 1 liter milk, the outcome is close to around 160 grams. As you can see, the paneer is soft and has a good appearance and a texture. You can immediately use this paneer or store the paneer in an airtight container filled with water and keep it in the fridge. This ensures that the paneer stays fresh and doesn't change its taste. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do subscribe to my channel and like, share and comment on my YouTube video. And if you have any queries, reach out to me either on my email address or my Instagram page. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Habde and today's video is going to be on yeast-free thin crust Indie Paneer pizza with mint mayo. The components required for making a pizza are pizza dough, which is made from yeast-free plain flour, paneer tikka marination, coriander and mint mayonnaise, Amul's diced mozzarella cheese and homemade tomato sauce. This pizza is quite Indianized and has a unique combination of flavors. The components are very easy to prepare, and the cooking time required for making this pizza is close to around 2 hours. The tomato sauce is mildly seasoned with Italian herbs and blends well with the Indian paneer tikka fusion. The ingredients required are de-seeded and diced tomatoes, holy basil leaves, some Italian herbs, few cloves of garlic, and half a chopped onion. To prepare the tomato sauce, in a dekchi on a medium flame, I have added a tablespoon of oil. The oil used is regular sunflower oil. Once the oil gets heated, I saute chopped garlic and onions till they are nicely cooked and leave a pleasant aroma. Once the onions and garlic gets cooked, I add in the diced tomatoes. I then season the tomatoes with some salt. Salt helps the tomatoes to sweat and soften. Keep cooking the tomatoes till all the moisture content is lost. Season the tomatoes with some sugar as it balances the taste and cuts down the acidic level obtained from the tomatoes. Mix everything properly. Add the Italian seasoning only after turning off the flame. If the herbs are cooked, they leave a bitter taste. To this, I add crushed basil leaves. Mix everything properly and leave it to cool. Once cooled properly, blend the tomato mixture in a blender. Do not add water to the mixture. As you can see, the tomato sauce lacks a little color. Thus, I have added a tablespoon of tomato ketchup and again blended it properly. Now that the sauce is ready, let's move on to the coriander and mint mayo. The ingredients required are a handful of coriander leaves, some mint leaves, green chilies, and a tablespoon of veg mayonnaise as a replacement of water to blend the ingredients to form a chutney. And to season the chutney, we require some salt and sugar. In a blender, add in all the ingredients and form a thick chutney. Do not add water while blending the chutney as it won't acquire a proper consistency. You can make this chutney entirely with the mint leaves, but using half and half of the coriander leaves and mint leaves doesn't make a lot of difference. Now that the tomato sauce and the garnish, that is the mint mayo, is ready, let's move on to the next step, that is paneer marination. The veggies that I have used as toppings for the pizza are yellow bell pepper, green capsicum, 160 grams of homemade paneer, petals of one medium-sized onion, and red bell pepper. Now, for the marination, in a bowl I have added roughly about 4 tablespoons of hung curd, a tablespoon of crisp kasuri methi, a tablespoon of Everest chaat masala, a tablespoon of Kashmiri red chili powder, a tablespoon of red chili powder, a tablespoon of Everest Kitchen King masala, a tablespoon of fresh homemade ginger garlic paste, and a tablespoon of melted butter as it provides moisture to the marination and doesn't make the paneer dry. Mix the marination properly using a spatula and add in the toppings except for the paneer as it is very delicate and would easily break while mixing. Once all the toppings are properly mixed, add in the paneer and fold it in the marination very lightly. Ensure that the paneer doesn't break into pieces while folding. Rest the marination in the fridge for a minimum of 1 hour. By the time the paneer gets marinated, let's move on to the process of making yeast-free pizza dough. For the dough, I have taken 200 grams of plain flour and I have added half a teaspoon of baking powder. To activate the baking powder and to make the dough fluffy and moist, I have taken 100 grams of plain yogurt. Make sure that the dry ingredients are properly sieved. I haven't seasoned the flour with salt because when the pizza is finally assembled, the flavors of all the components come together properly. Gradually add water, 1 tablespoon at a time till a soft dough is formed. I have added around 3 tablespoons of water to form a proper dough. Keep kneading the dough to achieve a proper texture. Add in the fat, that is the melted butter, and knead it till a smooth appearance is achieved. I did try making the pizza using whole wheat flour base, but it tasted exactly like a paratha and it just couldn't hold its shape. So I decided to make the dough using plain flour. Now that the dough is ready, place the dough in a well dusted bowl and let it rest for 1 hour. Now that all the components are ready, let's assemble the pizza. Now that the dough is well rested, the dough weighs around 340 grams. I divided the dough into 3 parts, that is around 113 grams, to make 3 thin crust pizza. Knead the individual dough properly to ensure a smooth finish. Simultaneously, keep a pan on a slow flame with the lid on to ensure even heating of the pan. Till the time the pan gets heated, let's roll the dough thin using a rolling pin. You can stretch the dough with your hand, but the dough is not soft, rather it is a little firm. Once the dough is rolled out thin, grease the pan with some melted butter. Remove excess flour from the dough and place it in the pan. Using a fork, poke the base so that the dough doesn't rise. I am aware that the pan used is a non-stick pan, so I didn't poke the base through and through. Cover the pan with a lid and let it cook on a medium flame for 7 to 8 minutes. Once the dough gets cooked, grease some melted butter on the top surface of the dough and flip it. Now, coat the base with sufficient tomato sauce. Also make sure that you leave the corners. Cover the tomato sauce with loads of diced mozzarella cheese and spread it evenly. Now, in this pizza, I have directly placed the marinated toppings to understand how well it would work. I was curious to know the difference between a cooked marination and an uncooked marination as a topping. Once the toppings are placed, cover the pan with a lid and let the pizza cook on a slow flame for 12 minutes or until the cheese melts. Once the cheese has melted and the base is cooked properly, turn off the flame and cut the pizza into desired pieces and garnish it with some mint mayo. This pizza looks a little spread out. It doesn't look appealing to the eye, but the taste is undoubtedly the best, but it doesn't have a defined form. Well, moving on to the cooked method. In a pan, cook the marinated toppings and cool them completely. Once cooled, place it onto the cheese and again cook the pizza for 12 minutes on a slow flame. I have mentioned the recipe of homemade paneer in the description box below. If you want to learn on how to make paneer, do check it out. Now that the pizza is ready, take it out on a plate and grease some butter with the back of the spoon as it keeps the crust moist. Cut the pizza into desired pieces. Garnish the cut pizza with mint mayo and serve. Please note that I have mixed 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise to the mint chutney with a spoon to ensure a smooth mixture. Well, this pizza looks a little more composed and has an eye-appealing factor. In this method, you can notice the base, the sauce, the toppings, the marination and the garnish. Also, the paneer doesn't get overcooked, rather it maintains a juicy texture. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do subscribe to my channel and like, share and comment on my YouTube video. And if you have any queries, reach out to me either on my email address or my Instagram page. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Habde and today's video is going to be on Patata Vada popcorn with my take on Kamat's disco dip. Well, the patata vada is seasoned with some basic spices, that is turmeric powder, red chili powder, some coriander powder, salt, and to give a rich red color, some Kashmiri red chili powder. Well, this is not a typical Maharashtrian style patata vada recipe which is traditionally made with mirchi thecha. To temper the potato mash, in a tadka pan, I have heated some oil and to that I have added some mustard seeds. Once the mustard seeds starts to pop, add in the cumin seeds and turn off the flame in order to avoid burning the cumin seeds. Season the tempering with some hing, turmeric powder and crushed curry leaves. You can also add some mint leaves and coriander leaves to the tempering and add this to the mashed potato. For the besan batter, in a bowl I have added 1 cup of besan and seasoned it with some turmeric powder, some carom seeds as it aids in digestion, some red chili powder, salt as required, and to give a rich red color, some Kashmiri red chili powder, and to give a fresh feel to this batter, some fennel powder. Traditionally, this batter is seasoned mainly with salt, turmeric powder and some carom seeds. Well, to make a batter, the amount of water required is half cup and a tablespoon. This makes a slightly loose batter which then coats the vada nicely. There are many recipes and variations of making batata vada. Well, my concept for making this video is to make a vegetarian popcorn just like chicken popcorns. Well, I thought batata vadas would do the perfect justice for this rainy season. Well, now that the potato mash mixture is ready, on a plate, Place the small roundels of the mix. They need not be circular in shape. If you feel that the potato mash is sticking to your hand or fingers, just dip your hand in water and again start making the roundels. This recipe makes around 50 potato popcorns. Also, it depends on how small you divide the mixture. Well, you can also make the regular vadas with this recipe. Well, to fry the vadas, I have heated some oil. The oil used is sunflower oil. Once the oil is heated, I add in a tablespoon of it to the batter. This helps to make the vadas crispy. Well, right before frying the vadas, I had added 2 pinches of baking soda. Well, I did not realize that the camera had turned off while doing this process. Now, dip the vadas in the batter using a fork and fry them. Once the vadas have acquired a great color, remove them and drain the excess oil and serve them hot with the disco dip. For the disco dip, in a bowl, add in a finely chopped chili, finely chopped 2 cloves of garlic, a dash of lemon juice, a teaspoon of sugar, some salt, and 4 tablespoons of water. This dip is a perfect blend of spicy, sweet, and tangy flavors. The only thing that this dip lacks is a tablespoon of finely chopped coriander. Do add the coriander if you have it available. In this rainy season, during the lockdown period, as I was craving for Kamath restaurant's disco dip, well, this is my take on getting those memories back and presenting them to you, along with the rainy season's favorite food, batata vada. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do subscribe to my channel and like, share and comment on my YouTube video. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Habde and today's video is going to be on a healthy and baked crispy cluster beans, also called as gawar. This is a real easy recipe and hardly requires any ingredients. Well, I'm not a huge fan of this vegetable, so I was looking for ways to make a quick and healthy snack from these beans. Now, for this recipe, I have cleaned around 250 grams of cluster beans. Make sure you use fresh beans and remove the ends along with its thread. To marinate the beans, in a bowl, I have taken around 1/8 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1/4 teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder, 1/4 teaspoon of red chili powder, a tablespoon of sesame seeds, which is also called as til, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Well, to these dry spices, I have also added 2 teaspoons of regular oil. Mix the marination properly. Well, you can be creative with the marination. You can also opt for Italian herbs or any other herbs with zero moisture content in it. Once everything is mixed, add the mixture to the beans and mix it with your hands. Every bean should be perfectly coated and marinated with these spices. Adjust the proportion of spices according to your preference. On a baking tray, place the marinated beans and also scrape out every sesame seed from that bowl. Spread the beans evenly on that baking tray. Also, the use of baking paper is totally optional. Now, bake the beans at 3 intervals of 5 minutes each. There is no set temperature. I have just pressed the start button of the oven till it reached 5 minutes on the display. The beans require a total of 15 minutes to crisp up. After every 5 minutes, just move the beans with a spoon so that it heats up evenly and again place it in the oven for the next 5 minutes. This is how the beans look when they are initially cooked for 5 minutes. Their color has changed but they are still soft. Well, this is how they look after they have been cooked for 10 minutes in total. They turn out to be little crispy and slightly soft. And this is how the beans appear to be after they are cooked for 15 minutes in total. They have dried up completely and have become really crispy. Well, after 15 minutes, whenever you take the beans out of the oven, they feel a little soft as they are still hot. So cool them at room temperature for 5 to 10 minutes and then store them in airtight containers. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do subscribe to my channel and like, share and comment on my YouTube video. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Habde and today's video is going to be on Malai Chicken Tikka Shawarma. Shawarma mainly hails from the Middle Eastern region and consists of lamb meat which is slowly cooked on a moving vertical cone-shaped spit or a rotisserie. Today's video is going to be mainly on Indian-inspired spices. Let's get started with the recipe. For this recipe, I have taken 1 chicken breast. I have then cut the chicken horizontally and then vertically in half, which gives me around 4 pieces, and then I have sliced it thinly. This method helps the chicken to cook quickly and evenly on a pan. For marinating the chicken in a mixer jar, I have added salt, sugar, couple of green chilies, ginger, few cloves of garlic, some crisp kasuri methi, equal quantities of hung curd and fresh malai. Hung curd is made from half liter buffalo milk, which gives around 3 to 4 tablespoons of the product. I have also added some soaked nuts and few leaves of mint. Now that the marination is blended properly, reserve 4 spoonfuls of it as it shall be used as sauce. This shawarma recipe is nothing fancy and doesn't require many ingredients. I prefer to use the same marination in 2 ways, which intensifies the flavor and brings out a great taste to the dish. Now, to another bowl, scrape out all the marination and add the chicken pieces. Mix the chicken properly. Make sure that the chicken is properly coated in the marination. As of now, the mixture looks a bit runny, which will then set properly after it has been rested properly in the fridge. Season the chicken with some black pepper powder. You can also use white pepper powder as it has a stronger aroma and shall help maintain the white color of the marination. Also add some roasted cumin powder as it has a distinct flavor and goes well with the Indian recipes. Mix the chicken with the marination properly and make sure that no lumps are formed. Rest the chicken and the sauce in the fridge for a minimum of 6 hours. This brings out a great flavor to the chicken. For the flatbread, in a bowl I have added lukewarm water, some instant dry yeast, and sugar as it acts as a food for the yeast. Mix everything properly and rest it for 5 minutes. Now, in a bowl, sift some plain flour, which is also called as maida, and salt together. Make a well in the flour and add the yeast water and gradually mix the dough. To the flour again, add 1/4 cup of water and keep mixing the dough. Keep kneading the dough and add water as required. For making this dough, I required half cup and a tablespoon of water in total. Once the dough is formed, add some oil and knead the dough till all the oil is absorbed. Keep tucking and rolling the dough till a soft dough is achieved. Place the dough in a well-dusted bowl and cover it with a cloth and keep it in a warm place for at least an hour to allow it to proof. I have kept the dough in a shut oven as it is dark and warm. The quantity of yeast used is less, so the dough won't double in size but will only rise to a certain extent. After an hour, knock back the dough and again knead the dough properly with some dusted flour. Divide the dough into 3 equal portions. Roll the dough by dusting some flour and roll it a little thick than a chapati. Once the dough is rolled out, dust the flour from the dough and place it on a hot tawa. Do not apply oil to this bread. Make sure that the sides of the khabuz are cooked evenly. Remove the bread from the tawa and keep it in the casserole. Now that the khabuz is ready, let's move on to the chicken. After 6 hours of marinating the chicken, you can notice that the marination has become a little thick. Skew the chicken pieces onto the skewer sticks, which had been soaked in water for an hour, as it prevents the stick from getting burnt while cooking on the pan. I have prepared around 3 tikkas, and to give it an authentic smoky flavor, I have placed the hot coal onto a bowl and added some ghee. Keep this covered for only 5 to 10 minutes and not more, or else it will give out a bitter taste to the marinated chicken. If you don't have coal at home, you can also give the dhungar using some long or the inner shell of a coconut. To cook the chicken on a slow flame in a heated pan, I have added some butter. Place the tikkas and let it cook. Keep basting the chicken with the same melted butter in order to keep it moist. Keep adjusting the flame according to your preference. Cook the chicken from all the sides. This will take around 10 to 15 minutes. Now that the chicken is ready and all the prep is done, let's assemble the shawarma. Now, on the flatbread, I have generously layered the reserved marination. I have also placed some raw red bell peppers and sliced onions as it provides a good crunch to the dish. Now, place one hot skewered chicken tikka on the veggies and also apply some sauce on the chicken to give it some moisture. Fold the bread and our Malay chicken tikka shawarma is ready. It's that simple. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel and like, share and comment on my YouTube video. Thank you for watching. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Habde and today's video is going to be on a nostalgic feeling that you get from eating Bombay masala toast. For the chutney, in a mixer jar, I have added an inch of ginger, few cloves of garlic, few green spicy chilies, dash of lemon juice, handful of washed coriander and handful of washed mint leaves. I have also seasoned the chutney with some sugar and salt, and to give it a thick texture, I have added a slice of bread. This slice of bread soaks up water and doesn't make the chutney runny and gives a good texture to the chutney. To blend the chutney into a fine paste, I have also added some water. You can also replace a slice of bread with either of these ingredients. You can use handful of salted bundis or handful of nylon save or some grams, which is also called as dara in my local language, or some roasted groundnuts. All these ingredients helps to give a good and thick texture to the chutney. To make the main potato stuffing of the sandwich, in a kadai, I add some oil and some cumin seeds. I then turn on the flame. This method ensures the cumin seeds are not getting burned. Once the cumin seeds starts sizzling, I add the curry leaves and a pinch of asafoetida, which is also called as hing. Mix everything properly. To enhance the flavor of the stuffing, I add around 2 tablespoons of the green chutney. This really brings out a beautiful flavor to the sandwich. To this sautéed masala, I then add 1 medium-sized boiled and cubed potato. Mix everything properly and smash the potato. Once the mixture is ready, turn off the flame and cool the mixture completely. Add the pomegranate seeds as it provides a good crunch to the sandwich. You can skip this step if you don't like pomegranates. Mix the potato mixture properly and keep aside. To assemble the sandwich, I have buttered 3 slices of bread. These breads are small size breads unlike the regular breads. So according to this size of the bread, the entire preparation yields around 4 to 5 small sandwiches and 3 regular size sandwiches. I have also generously smeared the chutney. Now, take a spoonful of the potato mixture and thinly apply it on one slice of the bread. Place a couple of sliced onions and sprinkle some chaat masala and grate 1 cube of cheese. Layer it with another slice of bread. Make sure you apply butter and chutney on the top surface of the second slice of bread as well. Now, place some sliced tomatoes, thinly sliced roundels of onions, and few slices of yellow bell pepper. You can use any vegetables of your choice. Again, season this layer with some chaat masala and coat the sandwich with some grated cheese. Layer it with a slice of bread. Well, to toast the sandwiches, on a slow flame, on a greased pan, I have placed 2 sandwiches. Gently press the sandwiches in order to toast them properly and evenly. Also, pressing the sandwiches binds everything properly. Once the sandwiches are toasted from one side, grease some butter on the top surface of the sandwich and gently flip it. Again, keep pressing the sandwiches gently in order to cook them evenly from the other side. Now that the sandwiches are toasted from both the sides, let's cut them. Well, this is how the sandwich looks. It looks like a whole sandwich instead of layers. It's because of the pressing that you do while toasting it. This sandwich truly tastes amazing as it has a minty and cheesy flavor and has a great crunch from the veggies as well as from the pomegranate seeds. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do subscribe to my channel and like, share and comment on my YouTube video. Thank you for watching. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Habde and today's video is going to be on Maharashtrian Kodambi Rasa, also called as prawn curry. Any Maharashtrian curry gets its main flavor from the coriander, ginger and garlic watan. Watan is basically a mixed masala which enhances any flavor of the dish. Well, in a mixer jar, blend half an inch of de-skinned ginger, a whole bulb of cloves of garlic and handful of washed coriander. Blend this watan into a fine paste with the help of water. Initially, on a fast flame, heat sufficient oil in a kadhai. Once the oil gets heated, turn down the heat and add 2 medium-sized chopped onions. Saute them till they are covered in oil and season it with some turmeric powder. Mix the onions thoroughly with the turmeric and sweat and caramelize the onions till they have reduced almost 50% in size. Cover the kadhai with the lid and keep cooking the onions on a slow flame till they have softened completely. This process takes around 30 minutes. Also, keep an eye on the onions and mix the onions at regular intervals in order to avoid burning them. Once the onions have caramelized and left its oil, season it with spicy red chili powder, some Kashmiri red chili powder as it provides a rich red color to the curry, some Maharashtrian Kara Tikkat masala which you can replace with garam masala, and some salt. Mix everything properly and add the coriander water and mix the masala thoroughly. As you can see, the masala has obtained a good brown color. To this, I have added a spoonful of onion, ginger garlic and coconut water, which I have mentioned in the chicken curry recipe. I'll mention it in the description box below. Now that the main base of the curry is ready, add the turmeric marinated prawns. This is close to around 250 grams. Coat the prawns in the masala and cook it on a high flame for a couple of minutes. Simultaneously, keep a saucepan full of water to boil. Add sufficient hot water to the prawns and mix it properly. Hot water accelerates the cooking process of the prawns and maintains the juicy and tender texture by cooking it in less time. I have also added some water from the remaining green water to the curry. To give a tangy flavor to the curry, I have added 8 to 10 pieces of kokum, also called as Garcinia indica, which belongs to the fruit-bearing plant of mangosteen family. A replacement for this tangy fruit is lemon juice, which you can use at the time of eating. Do not add lemon juice while cooking as it lets out a bitter taste to the curry. Cover the kadhai with the lid and cook the curry for not more than 10 minutes as it may overcook the prawns. After 10 minutes, turn off the flame and garnish the korambi rasa with loads of chopped coriander. This recipe is sufficient for 4 to 5 people and cooking time required for this recipe is 45 minutes. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do subscribe to my channel and like, share and comment on my YouTube videos. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Habde and today's video is going to be a long and soothing tutorial on how to clean crabs. Primarily, it's important that the crabs you buy from the market are all alive. The ones that I have bought are freshwater crabs and I have purchased a dozen of them, that is 6 male crabs as they are enriched with more meat, and 6 female crabs because during the monsoons you will find crab eggs, also called as lark, in them, and their meat is even more tastier than the male crabs. Now, to get started with the cleaning, the only tool you will require is an old clean toothbrush. As you can notice, the claws and the legs have been already removed by the local fishermen as it becomes easy to bring the live crabs home. Brush the outer surface of the shell thoroughly with a toothbrush in order to remove the dirt, mud and slimy texture that gets formed on the shell. Do this under running water as it becomes easy and quick to clean them. If you don't clean them thoroughly and you cook the crabs, it may emit a weird taste to the gravy or any dish that you prepare and may also cause stomach infection. Once you have cleaned the surface, remove the hind legs and wash them under running water and keep aside on a clean plate. As you can notice, the male crabs have a triangular plate and the female crabs have a wide and curvy triangular plate. Female crabs have a soft shell, whereas male crabs have a hard shell and are a little tricky and difficult to crack open. Similarly, do this process with all the crabs. Also scrub all the crab claws thoroughly with the toothbrush. This is just a close-up of how a toothbrush literally scrubs off the dirt from the crab shell. Now, wash all the crab legs thoroughly in water and keep aside on a clean plate. Now that every part of the crab is scrubbed and cleaned, it's time to crack open the shell. To crack open the crab, turn the crab over and slide the bottom triangular plate. Once opened, twist and remove. Now, place one thumb on the gap formed after removing the plate that is at the bottom and place the other thumb either on the hind leg or keep adjusting the thumb till you find a comfort spot where you can put the pressure to crack open the shell. Once you crack open the shell, twist and remove the mouth of the crab. Discard it. After that, remove the feathery cone lining, which is basically the lungs of the crab. They are indigestible and thus are not advised to consume. Also, they taste terrible. Again, scrub the inner shell with a toothbrush to remove any impurities. Wash the stomach under running water and do not remove the internal green thing from the crab because some say that the green material is the liver and the orange thing is a lark, which is crab eggs, mainly called as roe or corals in shellfish found in female crabs. Earlier, I would clean everything from the crab, like literally everything. That's when my fisherwoman advised not to because that's what you're mainly paying for. Coming to the top shell of the crab, slide your finger under the mouth and remove the tongue. It has a bitter taste and thus needs to be discarded. Double check if there is any hard substance left. Wash the top shell under running water and maintain the gooey edible thing inside the shell. Do the same process with all the other crabs. Also, while holding the crab's stomach under running water, you can notice that nothing is coming off, rather, it's all intact. You can either wash crabs under running water, or you can crack open the crabs, clean them, and then once all the crabs are internally cleaned, you can wash them with limited water in order to save water. Also, it becomes really difficult for me to stand constantly at the sink. I find this method more comfortable. The bottom plate of the male crab is little difficult to open with fingers, so use the tip of the knife to open the plate. Now that all the crabs are cracked open, clean the crabs thoroughly with water. Remove the black thread if you find in any of your crabs. This was the only crab that had the black thread-like structure. This is how the clean crabs look like. Hope you liked and enjoyed this tutorial. I also hope that I was able to explain everything properly. Do share your feedback. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Habde and today's video is going to be on a Maharashtrian delicacy and my personal favorite, which is called as Khekda Kalwan, also called as crab rasa or crab curry. Every Maharashtrian dish has a specific vartan which resembles a thick paste which enhances the taste of that particular dish as well as acts as a binding agent and a thickening agent for the gravy which eventually brings the dish together. Today's crab curry is made using 12 crabs and thus the quantity of the ingredients used for the vartan is more. The ingredients and the quantities used for this vartan are a little more than a half freshly ground coconut, half grated dry coconut, 8 medium-sized onions which are thinly sliced, 1-inch ginger, 2 bulbs of garlic, 2 tablespoons of coriander seeds, 1 tablespoon of jeera seeds, 4 cloves, 3 cardamoms and 2 small sticks of cinnamon. To get started with the vartan, initially on a slow flame, in a kadhai add sufficient oil. This is approximately around 2 cups of oil. Once the oil gets heated, add the spices and once they leave their aroma in the oil, add chopped ginger and cloves of garlic. Add the thinly sliced onions to the oil and cook this on a high flame for 45 minutes by stirring continuously till it caramelizes and gets a beautiful sweet and caramelized flavor and texture. This is what the onions look like after they have been cooked for 45 minutes by stirring continuously on a fast flame. You can also cook these onions on a slow flame while you are working on other things, but the time required for the onions to cook shall increase. Brown and caramelize the onions. Do not burn them. Make a well and add the coriander and jeera seeds and cook them for a few minutes along with the caramelized onions. These onions taste exactly like barista, which is mainly the fried onions that we add on biryani. Just that these onions aren't crunchy because of the other elements and spices added to the oil. On a plate, remove the onion mixture and keep aside. To the remaining oil, add the grated fresh and dry coconut and cook them properly. Keep sauteing the coconut till it acquires a pinkish color and starts releasing its own oil. Once the coconut has finally changed its color, remove it on a plate and cool it down completely. Add the onion and coconut mixture along with a handful of washed coriander leaves in a mixer jar and blend it into a fine paste by adding sufficient water. The paste should be fine and thick. This is how the watan looks. This watan mainly provides a good base to the crab curry and can be made a day prior and kept in the refrigerator. The hero of this dish is the crab, and I have already cleaned a dozen of them and segregated each part of the crab. I have also shared a tutorial on how to clean live crabs, and I have also given a detailed explanation on what is edible and what is not. Do watch that video. The crab legs do not have much meat, thus I'm making a flavored water by blending it in the mixer along with some water. You can also add the hind legs in the mixer jar, but we love to chew on them, so I haven't added them. Strain the water and again repeat this step 2 more times using the same flavored water in small quantities till all the flavors from the crab legs have been extracted. Discard the remaining shells. Please note, do not add any additional water to this flavored water. Re-strain the water using a fine strainer in order to remove the smallest of the shell particles. Now that the major prep for the curry is done, let's get started with the final recipe. On a slow flame, in a large kadai, I have added around a cup of oil. Add 1 chopped onion to the hot oil and saute them. Add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder and cook the onions till they become translucent. To the onions, add 2 spoonfuls of red chili powder, 1 spoonful of Kashmiri red chili powder and 2 spoonfuls of kara tikhat. Do not replace the kara tikhat with any other masala. Skip the kara tikhat if you don't have. Mix and cook the masala thoroughly in oil. Add the watan to the onion mixture. Initially, we have added 5 cooking spoons full of masala just to analyze how much quantity of the curry along with the crab this kadhai would take. Mix the watan thoroughly. Season the curry with salt and again mix everything properly. Add the crab leg water slowly to the watan by continuously stirring it. After adding all the water, stir continuously till the mixture comes to a boil. This shall take around 10 minutes. Stirring prevents splitting of the curry, and thus I have fast forwarded this video just to make it visible that I haven't stopped stirring till the curry comes to a boil. If you don't stir the mixture continuously, the crab leg water and the watan forms different layers and the curry doesn't look composed. Cooking crab curry is really time consuming but gives a real lavish feel to any meal of the day. Personally, we don't cook crabs regularly, but we consume them maybe thrice or 4 times a year. But it feels special to eat such a delicacy, and thus it doesn't matter how much time and preparation goes into cooking them. Now that the curry has completely come to a boil, add hot water and adjust the consistency of the curry as per your liking and add the remaining watan to the curry. Make sure you scrape out every bit of that watan. Add the crab roe and the other green edible material from the top shell of the crab to the gravy as it gives a grainy texture to the curry. Similarly, I have collected the crab roe from all the other crab shells in 2 shells and added them to the gravy. Also add 5 to 6 shells to the gravy as it enhances the taste. Add all the other parts of the crab to the gravy. Also, I have cracked the claws of the crab so that the gravy seeps nicely into them. Crabs take around 10 minutes to cook on a slow flame. The color of the shell changes to bright red when cooked completely. It is advised to eat crabs either 8 hours after preparing the dish or the following day, as all the flavors seep well in the meat of the crab and taste 10 times more better and flavorful. This dish was taught to my mother by her dear friend Maya Kaku, and we have been following this recipe to the T till date. This dish takes hours to make and hours to consume as well. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I am eagerly waiting for your positive feedbacks. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Well, today's video mainly focuses on idli batter, which is a primary batter for many dishes. To get started with the tutorial, here I have already thoroughly washed 250 grams of urad dal and 1 teaspoon of methi seeds. Mix them together and soak them in sufficient water for 8 hours. I have started this process at 10 o'clock in the morning. Similarly, I have thoroughly washed half kilo zada idli rava with water, which is basically a thick idli rava, and again I am soaking it in sufficient water and keeping it aside covered for 8 hours. Now coming on to the Indian sago, locally known as sabudana, I have taken half a cup of washed sabudana and soaked it in equal quantities of water. For this recipe, we also require zada poha, but poha is required while making the batter, that is after 8 hours. Except for the poha, let the other ingredients soak thoroughly in water for 8 hours. So by 6 o'clock in the evening, I'll start preparing the batter. Kindly cover these vessels with a lid. Exactly after 8 hours, drain the water from all the ingredients and also wash poha under running water, just like you do while preparing your breakfast poha. Also, from idli rava, strain out as much water as you can. Initially, in a mixer jar, blend half of the soaked urad dal without adding any water. Once it's coarsely blended, add little water and blend again. blend this entire quantity of urad dal, I required half cup of water in total. You may require more or less. So every time you blend, add 1 to 2 tablespoons of water at a time. Keep adding water to the urad dal till it forms a fine and thick flowing texture. To determine the exact quantity of water required for the same is a little tricky because it mainly depends on how much water you strain from the initial soaked dal. Keep all the blended urad dal in one container. To the same mixer jar, add half of the soaked zada idli rava. Well, as you can notice, idli rava already holds some water, so I'm not going to add any water while blending. Once blended, add soaked sabudana. Sabudana improves and brightens the color of the idlis as it contains starch, and because of its viscous properties, it mainly acts as a thickener. It also provides a spongy texture to the batter, which eventually makes the idlis soft and fluffy. While blending the first batch of idli rava, add the entire batch of sabudana, and while blending the second batch of idli rava, blend it thoroughly along with the soaked washed poha. Now, once the idli rava batter is blended, place it in a container. You can add this batter directly to the urad dal batter, but to show the consistency, I have kept this batter aside. Also, looking at the batter, you can notice that it's not blended properly. The batter is thick, but you can still notice the half blended sabudana grains. So I'm mixing both the batters together and again blending it in small batches to gain a fine texture. Do not add water while doing this. Well, this step can be skipped depending on the mixer grinders that you use. It varies from household to household. Some mixer grinders are heavy duty and commercial, whereas some mixers cannot handle much load and thus stops at regular intervals. So you just don't get that momentum. Again, blend both the batters together and pour it in a vessel where the batter shall get fermented. To store this batter, I have used a pressure cooker. Once all the batter is added to the vessel, add a teaspoon of salt and mix thoroughly. Salt prevents over-fermentation. You can also mix the batter with your bare hands, as the bacteria present on the human hand transfers onto the batter and it shall help the batter to ferment nicely. Keep this vessel overnight in a warm place in order to allow it to ferment properly. The next morning, once the batter ferments, add sufficient salt to the batter and mix it thoroughly. You can notice the batter has gained a porous texture and small bubbles have appeared through and through. Place the idli batter onto the oil-greased plates. Keep a little space on the corners, which will allow the batter to flow till the corners and won't overflow. Once all the idli plates are ready, place them in hot idli steamer which also has sufficient water at the bottom. Cover the idli steamer with a lid and cook the idlis on a high flame for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, once the idlis are cooked, remove the idli plate. Wash the back of the plate immediately under running water. This stops the cooking process and cools down the idlis. This process may or may not work for you, so just try one plate to see if it really works for you. If it doesn't, just cool them naturally and then remove the idlis. Relish these idlis with your favorite sambar, coconut chutney and mulga pudi. This batter can also be used to make dosa. Just thin down the batter with some water to make them. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel and like, share and comment on my YouTube videos. Do share some love. Also try this recipe and share your feedbacks. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Halfday and today's video is on a vegetarian nugget Also a vegan nugget made from a very interesting ingredient, that is jackfruit seeds. Here, I have taken around 250 grams of dried jackfruit seeds. When the seeds are dry, it becomes easier to remove the outer peel of the seed. And if the seeds are fresh, cook the seeds thoroughly and then deskin them. Similarly, I have removed the outer skin of all the seeds. To cook these seeds, in a container, place all the jackfruit seeds and cover them with sufficient water. Place the container in a pressure cooker and cook it thoroughly until 4 to 5 whistles. Once cooked, cool the pressure cooker down, remove the container and drain all the water from the seeds. Spread it evenly on the strainer and cool the seeds completely. There shouldn't be any moisture left in the seeds. It should be completely dry. To get started with the nugget recipe, in a mixer jar, I have added a spicy green chili, 10 to 12 cloves of garlic, cooked jackfruit seeds, some butter, salt is required, freshly ground black pepper powder, and a hint of lemon juice. Once blended, add some water to help it grind properly into a thick, coarse mixture. To give a body and a crunchy texture to these nuggets, add a tablespoon of cornstarch. The quantity of cornstarch depends on the moisture level of the mixture, so you may add more if required. To enhance the flavor of the nuggets, add around 2 packets of Domino's oregano seasoning, which is easily available in every household. You can also add chili flakes to this mixture. To this mixture, I have also added a teaspoon of regular sugar, but I haven't recorded it as not many people like to add sugar in their food. Now, for the nugget coating, in a bowl I'm preparing a cornstarch slurry which is seasoned with chili powder and salt. Now, using a spoon, I am scooping a small portion of the seed mixture and placing it in the cornstarch slurry. Coat the mixture properly and then place it in the powdered Kellogg's original cornflake, which I have blended in a mixer jar. Coat the nuggets in the cornflake powder properly and then shape them into nuggets. So you need not dirty your hands while making them. Using the same technique, I have prepared all the nuggets. In a kadhai, heat some oil and then fry the nuggets on a medium flame in batches of 4. Let the nuggets have enough room for frying. Do not overcrowd the kadhai. Once cooked, strain the excess oil and remove the nuggets. These nuggets really taste good and have a crunchy texture and a great flavor. Eat these nuggets while they're still hot. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do subscribe to my channel and like, share and comment on my YouTube videos. Hi guys, welcome to my channel all about food. My name is Saili Habde and today's video is going to be on Chatpata jackfruit seeds. To get started with the recipe, these jackfruit seeds are fresh and thoroughly washed and used the following day. Also, the outer peel of the seeds are intact. In order to cook these seeds, cover them with sufficient water and season them with excess salt so that the flavors go through and through of the seeds. Mix it thoroughly and place it in the pressure cooker. Cook these seeds until 4 to 5 whistles or until perfectly cooked. Once cooked, strain the water and keep aside. To prepare the seasoning, in a bowl I have added some chaat masala, some lemon juice, and 2 teaspoons of water. Mix everything properly and remove the lemon seeds or strain the mixture. On a medium flame, in a kadhai, add roughly about a tablespoon of oil. Once the oil gets heated, turn off the flame and add the chaat masala seasoning. Once the heat settles down, turn on the flame and add the jackfruit seeds. I didn't realize while making this dish, but kindly cut the seeds vertically in half before adding it in the chaat masala seasoning. This ensures that the seeds absorb even more flavor. Cook the seeds thoroughly till it absorbs all the flavor from the chaat masala seasoning. Once the seed skin gets crinkly, add butter to provide moisture, flavor and glaze. Once the butter melts, turn off the flame and add handful of roughly chopped washed coriander. Mix it thoroughly and enjoy this snack while it's hot. Using the same method, you can replace the jackfruit seeds with fresh groundnuts, puffed rice locally called as kurmura or murmura, makhana, corns or any ingredient of your choice. Don't forget to peel them before eating. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Well, today's recipe focuses mainly on chicken keema cutlets. The main step of this cutlet recipe is to cook the chicken keema properly. Well, on a slow flame, in a kadhai, I have added a tablespoon of oil. Once the oil gets heated, add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. Once the turmeric powder releases its color and flavor in the oil, add thoroughly washed minced chicken. I have washed this keema with lemon juice and little salt properly in order to get rid of any bacteria. Cook the keema on a fast flame for 10 minutes till it gets cooked and all the water gets evaporated. Make sure that you cook this keema on a very high flame. This cutlet does not contain maida, corn flour or any other flour binding agent, so it's important to incorporate very less moisture in this recipe. Now that all the water from the keema is evaporated, turn off the flame and transfer it in a bowl and cool the mixture down. For the cutlets, the base ingredients required are cooked keema, boiled and thoroughly cooled potatoes, chopped green chilies, homemade ginger garlic paste, and a handful of chopped coriander along with 5 leaves of mint. In a bowl, add cooked chicken keema, a dollop of homemade ginger garlic paste, chopped coriander along with chopped 5 mint leaves, chopped chilies for a hint of spice, boiled, peeled and thoroughly cooled potatoes, salt as required, a teaspoon of chaat masala and a teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder. Mix everything together to form a proper mash. Form cutlets by taking a portion of the mash and flattening it on the palm. You can use this recipe to make burger patties and chicken keema ragda as well. Addition of the mint brings this dish to a whole new level. It's a very simple recipe which requires minimal ingredients, but the outcome is superb. Similarly, I have prepared all the cutlets. This has a firm texture and does not contain maida or any other addition of flour. It's because the chicken keema did not have moisture as well as the potatoes were cooled thoroughly. Dip the cutlet in whisked egg and then coat it with crushed original Kellogg's cornflake. You can use panko breadcrumbs or regular breadcrumbs or semolina, that is rava, to coat these cutlets. You can also double dip the cutlets for a more crunchy texture. Similarly, coat all the other cutlets. Shallow fry these cutlets on a medium flame. Either shallow fry all these cutlets at once or store the remaining in an airtight container and keep it in the freezer for a longer shelf life. If it's kept in the fridge, the outer covering becomes soggy and thus it absorbs more oil. Remove these cutlets once they acquire a golden brown color. Serve them immediately and enjoy them while they are still hot. As a dip, you can use spicy mayo, cocktail sauce, spicy green chutney, or a cool yogurt dip. For more such amazing recipes, do subscribe to my channel.